So my name is Nicholas DiNunzio. I'm teaching at three universities now in the Tokyo area. I'm teaching at Obiden University in Machida. I'm teaching at Meiji Gakuin at the Totsuka campus down in Yokohama. And then I'm teaching at Tsurubunka Daigaku, which is a university in Yamanashi-ken. And I currently use Paul's site at two of my universities, Obiden and Yamanashi, Tsurubunka Daigaku. And today I'm going to go over how I'm using Paul's writing assignment for these two schools. So I teach two writing classes at Tsurubunka Daigaku. I teach a core writing class, so a year one reading writing class at Oberdeen, and then I'm teaching a year one TOEFL test preparation class. For the normal writing, for the core writing and the general writing class at Tsuru, the main thing I use Paul's site for is to set a time limit. So Paul Nation has an activity, the 10-minute writing, where students write 10 minutes a day in a notebook. I modify that just a little bit with the students having a prompt. So this was the prompt I gave them. What are the good and bad points about online learning? Now this copy is what I have done. So this was me showing the students how to use the site on Microsoft Teams on a video conference. But the students get a simple prompt, and then as you can see, they will then submit to me. The second thing I'm going to use it for is currently at Obidin, we are in the midst of our first writing assignment, which is for students to describe a friend or loved one. And I'm using Google Docs as a shared collaborative writing with students sharing with each other and with me. And we're using that for their first draft and their initial drafts. But in the case with Google Docs, there's no way for me to prevent the students from copying and pasting from Google Translate, from writing a Japanese essay and then putting it into Google Translate and just doing a cut and paste over. On the other hand, Paul's assignments actually allow for copy and paste to be disabled, which is a feature that I use quite a bit. The other thing that I use Paul's site for that I like is the time limit. So Obidin has a recommendation that students can write, level 1 students can write 150 words and edit in 30 minutes. And so this is the end of the year goal, but having a 30-minute timer gives the students a sense of where they are in terms of that and that goal. And when they're typing, as you can see, when they're typing, they can see the word count at the same time that the timer's going down. And so this I found to be very useful for students who traditionally would just write an 80-word essay and ask me if that's good enough. Now there's they have a sense of how much they've written. The other thing that I'm using Paul's site for right now is TOEFL writing. So I used it at the beginning of the term for a independent pre-writing test. And again, the nice feature here is the 30-minute timer. So I put the prompt directly from the textbook in. I give them 30 minutes to write. I tell them the goal, which is 300 plus words, which is, again, what they're expected to do in the TOEFL test. And so having these features prepares the students for the TOEFL testing conditions. And what's more is, in TOEFL's case, the TOEFL test will be requiring them to use a keyboard to type in. And the TOEFL test will have an automatic timer. So this really prepares them very well for the test conditions. The final thing that I'll say about Paul's site that makes it incredibly useful is being able to copy a link. So being able to get a link copied and then to quickly give them that link in an email, which takes them then directly to the page. And that has cut out so much creation of file, etc. So this is a very useful site, and I'm very grateful for the time and energy that's gone into making it user-friendly. So that's how I'm using Paul's site in the writing, and I hope that that is not too much of a rush through. And thank you again, Paul, for letting me give this short explanation.